Hey, everybody. You
Oh,
there?
there we go. Hello, John.
Everybody doing-
Hello, Joey. Hello.
How's everybody doing today?
Hello. We're doing good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. So, are you both in California?
Yeah.
All right. Basically,
Yes, we are.
we were going to talk about the album, tour dates, and how things are going for you.
Beautiful.
Let's go ahead and start. How'd you meet your publicist, Jen? Because I've been friends with her for a while.
Do you want to, John, did you hear that question about Jen?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear a question about Jen, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
About Jen, yeah. How'd you come to meet, hang out with her and meet her and stuff? I've known her for a while.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, Jen's a good friend now of the band and, us. We've known her for a few years now, I believe, and she and I actually even co-hosted a little internet radio show for, I don't know, about 10 weeks or so, which is a lot of fun. But she's a very talented person. So she's an artist and she's a designer and she's a music fan and she's a radio personality. And now she's turning into a little PR machine. So it's really cool.
Oh, yeah. She's a very nice lady to talk to.
Very cool. Yes, real pro.
All right, we had to talk about some tour dates coming up. Any places coming up that you've been wanting to go to?
Go ahead, John. Well, wanting to go to and getting to are two different things. But so far this year we've had a good string of a bunch of decent shows. Our biggest show that we've had this year was at Sunfest. That was just this past April out in Florida. 3 big stages, 350,000 people coming through. I think we played for about 16,000, which was a lot of fun. Did a nice show with Lita Ford in Sweden, Colorado, a couple of months ago, and that was about, I don't know, maybe 3,500 people or so. And now we're getting ready to embark out and take off and do a few shows in North Carolina with Jefferson Starship, and that's going to be fun. So those are decent-sized houses, 1,100, 1,300 people, and we're looking forward to it. It's a fun thing getting on stage. It's really the payoff for this whole deal.
All right, I was going to say, you both are musicians. You've played hundreds of shows before. What's one of your favorite ways to interact with your fans?
Well, that's definitely up there. I mean, there's nothing like playing, especially for the Babies catalog, which is so, known by so many rock fans. So whenever we do these shows, whether we're headlining or whether we're on a bill, it's just, there's nothing like playing to a crowd that's singing all the words and that beats everything. That's the best.
Talk about your album that came out and how much recording time was spent on it.
Well, go ahead, John. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. Not a lot of time was spent. We didn't have the luxury of having a lot of time to spend on that record. We had Wally traveling across the country, coming from Florida. He left mid-January, didn't get here until, I don't know, maybe the first week of February, something like that. And we were fast-tracked, thought we had the record needed to be done, I think, end of June, I think it was. We were going to have like 4 full months to do it. And then came to find out a week or so into it that we needed to have the thing ready to distribution by tax day, April 15th.
Oh, wow.
So we basically recorded that whole record, mixed it, edited, mixed it, mastered in less than 6 weeks. So, it's a very raw record, and there's nothing really organic about it. It's like, get your ass in the studio and go ahead and play a part, and let's figure out if we like it, and yes, yeah, that's good, go ahead, build that, go. It was definitely not an organic way to create an album, but we did the best we could, given the fact that we thought we had a heck of a lot more time, and then got fast-tracked into, hey, you got 6 weeks.
Wow.
So
I was going to ask
we
you.
also wrote a lot of it, like, leading up to the actual sessions, because we didn't have it all written. So that's another thing that we didn't have the luxury of doing, is spending more time actually writing, more songs, or so it really was like, run and gun, kind of just get it done, and that's how it went down.
What was the
I mean, Joey had probably half the songs, already pretty much ready to go, and we just had to babyfy him and do what we had to do, and I had a couple songs, and then Tony and Wally had worked on a bunch of songs back in the days after the Babies broke up, had no lyric content to it. So, I wrote some lyrics to a few tunes. Joey wrote some lyrics, and literally it was, hey, here's a song. What do you think? Okay, cool, let's do it. And we had about 50 of them to choose from, and we nailed it down to the 14 that we ended up recording.
I was going to ask you, what was the hardest song to record?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember. A couple took longer than others, and it was. I don't think it was a matter of hard. It was a matter of maybe we wanted to, put more elements in it, and there's a bunch of songs that had some string sections, and so we had to incorporate that, and we have to work with other people's schedules. So, I don't know. What do you think, John?
Maybe I'll have some of that. The title track, probably. There was a couple songs we were trying to get the right groove and the right vibe together for it. But we certainly had like a couple of really nicely, they were not overproduced, but really produced very well when we had the time and the luxury to do things like we had Not Ready to Say Goodbye, something that was recorded prior to the record being recorded. We were able to TLC that. And then I See You There was something that had been built on just prior to the record being ready to be, pushed. So we actually had, those who had the ability to go ahead and put the time in and get the string section in and, get the horns in and do all that good stuff. And the rest of the songs, there's just a rawness to it where it's what you're going to get. We get our sounds, we get up, we figure out a part, we nail it, so, it's definitely, like I said, it was not an organically created record, but, pretty cool nonetheless, and we had a good time doing it.
Let's talk about some of your websites. You've got Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Can you tell your listeners how to find you guys?
Sure, you can find us at thebabiesofficial.com on the web, or tweet the babies on Twitter, or the Babies Official on Instagram, as well as YouTube.
Sweet. Do you have any cool merchandise that Do you have any cool merchandise that'll be coming out maybe in the winter?
Well, now that you classify it winter, maybe sweaters and hoodies and scarves, but typically we've got the normal stuff, right? T-shirts and cup holders and cups and hats and actually Joey made sure that we needed to create a onesie with the babies on it, and those kind of went like hotcakes. I think we got to go re-up on the onesie.
Those kick ass. Yeah.
I don't see a whole lot of those at shows. I know I interview a lot of people. I usually try to ask the same question. Say you're playing a show one night, and then your favorite band is playing. Do you ever want to call in sick that night and just to go see them, or try to catch them if you can?
Well, unless you could take John Lennon out of the grave.
Yeah, I don't think we're afforded the luxury to take a day off.
Yeah, we enjoy playing, and we just would rather have more Babies gigs than taking off and go seeing anyone else.
Are you trying to get any festivals for next year? Maybe like Rocklahoma or Rock on the Range or any of those?
Yeah, we're out there looking for the obviously this summer is already booked. So we're on to the next year and looking into different things, and I think we fit the bill for a lot of those festivals, and we could definitely hold our own and add something to it. So hopefully some of them come through.
Yeah. Do you still have your first instruments? From most musicians I talk to got rid of them, or some still have them.
I do have my first guitar. Now that you asked that question, it's in my mom's. It's in storage somewhere, but I do have it. And it's a green Japanese guitar. The company was called Sakova.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Did it have the push button toggle?
No, it just was one of these really bad guitars that I just over the years just could never part with, because it's the first one. So
yeah, pretty bad. I don't have my big regret in life is I had my first bass was a 58 SG bass. It was absolutely beautiful. And I lent it out in like 1989, 90, and never saw it again. But from that same era, I also had an old SG 1000, and I still actually have that. I think my son plays that from time to time. It's still in the family. So yeah, I have like, old stuff that meant something.
Very cool.
When you guys are not touring as a band, what do you like to do individually, like your hobbies?
Because I don't really have any hobbies.
Come on, you're a wine taster. You're a wine connoisseur.
Wine tasting. That would probably be it.
You have like a big wine collection, a vintage wine?
Well, I just like to go wine tasting because living in California, you have the luxury of being so close to some really great wineries, whether it's Napa or Paso Robles or Los Olivos, and you can kind of just make a weekend out of it, and it's fun. And but really for me, I know it's lame, but all I do is pretty much write songs and finish up projects that I'm working on, or producing somebody else, or baby shows, or gigs and stuff like that. So I wish I could change that, but right now that's my scene.
There's not a lot of downtime. So in my free time, the only time I think I have free time is when I'm sick. That's about it.
Right.
I know there's like thousands of really good producers out there. Is there anyone that you really would like to work with that you haven't yet? Maybe just on a solo project, or maybe as the next album?
Oh, Jeff Lynne would be great.
Done.
You're into that?
Yeah. That's the man.
There you
go.
Yeah. You're from LA. Do you know John Ryan by any chance?
No.
Yeah, Chicago Kid Productions. He did Styx, Badfinger, and Eric Clapton, and a lot of oldies.
Oh, that sounds familiar. He did Styx back in the day?
Yeah.
And that name does sound familiar. Actually, I probably remember it from a record or something.
Yeah, I'm really good friends with him. I didn't know if you knew each other or not.
Oh no, I don't know him personally. I know that name. Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about tour dates. We've got websites. We talked about your album. We talked about your merchandise. Anything else that we missed?
Well, let me just kick back one more time on the tour dates. I mentioned that at the end of the month we're in North Carolina. At the end of September we're going to be doing some Midwest shows from I believe Akron, Ohio. I think somewhere in Chicago, somewhere outside of Detroit, and then I believe in November or October, we're going to be possibly doing the East. Between October and November, we're going to be doing a little bit of an East Coast, like Philly, New York, trying to get up that way. And then we've got a couple smattering of dates in Southern California. So just go to the website or Facebook page, and you'll be able to find us.
That sounds like you're going to have a fun time.
Yeah. No, man, just, try and spread the word that the babies are back, and it seems that there's a lot of rock fans that don't even know that we're out there and we're back. So the more people who know about it can kind of get proactive and hit our social, media and our sites and stay up on dates, and that, think that would be a good plan.
I was going to ask you,
I just want to interject a little bit into that too, right? So my final parting on a little bit, and thank you, as well for getting us, this time. There's a lot of acts out there today that, are acts from classic rock acts from the 70s and the 80s and, obviously into the 90s. But what's different about the 70s and 80s bands that are still doing it today, that I think are different, our main focus is the fact that there's a lot of energy. So you've got some really good fans as well as now members of the band. I mean, Joey and I both knew of the Babies back in the day. We were fans back in the day. So the music is second nature a little bit to us, and now we've got it, kind of into the soul, if you know what I mean. And, not only from somebody who really likes the music, but somebody who's believed in it, been a fan of it for such a long time. And we're like kind of that next, pseudo-generational gap between, let's say, the 70s and 80s band into what Joey and I would be the 80s and the 90s. So what's really good about what we're able to do right now, notwithstanding the fact that we have 7 people on stage, we have 2 beautiful babettes, so nice eye candy who sing the crap out of all the songs. We have a great keyboard player who plays absolutely everything flawlessly, which is awesome. And then you've got the founders of the band, Tony and Wally, who basically were the sound and the DNA of the band. I mean, they had their voice. Wait was the voice. You know, Tony and Wally were the foundation, right? They had the groove. They had the sound. Wally had that signature tone. Tony had that big-ass drum kit. And, you know, we're able to go ahead and emulate that. And the next kind of secret weapon, you know, I guess, if you will, is the fact that you've got Joey and myself who just kick it up a notch because we're just that edge, I think, that needs to rock these songs out and not make them just played songs. You know, there's a lot of acts out there today that are played it, and they sound great, but they look tired. You know, we're not tired. We're still friggin' kicking it. And that's my passion plea to people. You want to come out and see a kick-ass band and listen and sing to some kick-ass music that you haven't seen, played, and heard in 30-plus years, come on out to a baby show.
You've got everything you can need at a show. Do you try to meet your fans after the show, or is that sometimes limited?
No, we do every single show. We're out there, you know, doing a meet and greet, and it's always a great time, you know, because they're so passionate, and you can see it that they just want to, you know, they come with a stack of albums to get signed, you know, and they get such a kick out of talking to Tony and Wally, and then you know, meeting John, and you know, I'm there and stuff. So it's always a nice time after the show to meet everybody and say hey.
Yeah. Is there
our meet and greets sometimes are longer than our show, and we'll do an hour and a half. But we've done 2.5-hour meet and greets. I mean, it is fun, you know. I mean, we want people to know that we're back. We want to be able to interact with the fans. It's a new era, right? It's a new day, and you know, the only way that we're going to be able to get the word out is pressing the flesh, right? Unless we land some nice big TV gig and millions of people see us on Fallon or Kimmel, you know. So,
is there any
get on out there?
Is there any charities that you two are associated with or really care about? I can mention that also.
Well, our first gig back after 30-plus years was a benefit for a food pantry in the Santa Clarita Valley. So we've done a lot of donations and benefits for them. In October, we're doing a gig, which is a benefit, and that's in Huntington Beach, California. We're doing a benefit for autism. My wife and I have been long-standing, you know, we basically do a lot of shows for cystic fibrosis. And then I also do every year a benefit, and kind of funny, the mother of the daughter basically just texted me 10 minutes ago, but a cancer survivor, actually a cancer person who didn't survive, and there's a foundation for her, and they're doing some great things with people and children with cancer through this benefit program that I'm thankful to be part of. So yeah, we absolutely do a lot for charity.
Go ahead and mention your websites again, and so we'll have that at the ending of this interview.
So the website is thebabiesofficial.com. Google Plus is The Babies Official. Our Facebook is The Babies Official. Our Instagram is The Babies Official. Our Twitter is Tweet The Babies, because you couldn't do The Babies Official. It was too long. And I think we covered them. Right, Joey? You get them all?
Yeah.
Facebook is Babies Official.